So a friend of mine comes up to me the other day and he says, "Man, Austin, I've got a dilemma, and well, you're not very good at handling dilemmas, but I've got no one else to go to, so I'll try you out. There's this girl at school, and I like her, and I like almost every girl at school, but this one's different. But I've still got these feelings that are down in my loins, and I'm unsure as to whether I should proceed with her, or maybe I'll get fucked over again, man, and I need some guidance and I need some assistance. And you're kind of a nice guy, so maybe you could help me out." And I said, I'd love to. There's a tale that you need to hear. In this sort of situation, there's a topical story, if you will, and that is the story of Sir Shamblerock. And there was, about 700 or so years ago, there was a legendary knight who ruled the land of Shamblerocknia, and his name was Sir Shamblerock, and he fawned over nearly every fair lass and princess in the kingdom, till one day word of a lass from a faraway land whose beauty knew no bounds and was rivaled by no others. Word of this beauty reached his ears, and he decided to set out on horseback 3 kingdoms away to find this lass, to court her, and to bed her as he did with every lass. And so our friend Sir Shamblerock, I wish he had a different, easier to say name, but this is history, and we can't make history up. This is how it happened. And so Sir Shamblerock set out to this faraway kingdom. It was known the Kingdom of the Dunes, because there were large sand dunes that bordered the walls. They were deterrent for the scungy criminals who sort of patrolled the outside of the city at night, thinking of ways to get in. The dunes were sort of a natural barrier. And so Sir Shamblerock made the long, treacherous, arduous journey across many hills and mountains and fields, streams, rivers. He faced many wizards and bards along the way. But finally, one day he reached the Kingdom of the Dunes, and he walked onto the drawbridge, and he gave his name. He said, "I'm Sir Shamblerock. I come from 3 kingdoms away because I hear of a great beauty, that this kingdom possesses a beauty like no other in any kingdom." And the gatekeeper looks at him and he goes, that's true, we do, but she's the king's daughter. She's the princess of the Kingdom of the Dunes. And Sir Shamblerock says, no matter, I'll court her nonetheless. I'll speak to the king myself. If I have to, it will be done. And Sir Shamblerock then advances into the throne room. He was able to do so because he was such a high-ranking knight in his home kingdom that here in the Kingdom of the Dunes, Sir Shamblerock was almost as much of a legend, not quite as much, but the Kingdom of the Dunes male population were sort of just totally bitches. All of them just pusses, first rate, just totally pussy men. And so anyway, not to put down the Kingdom of the Dunes. And so anyway, Sir Shamblerock goes into the kingdom, and he's in the throne room, and he says, "King, I wish to bestow a largesse upon your daughter." And the king says, "Ha! Ha, Sir Shamblerock! But my daughter's birthday was just yesterday, and I bestowed a largesse upon her that you could never rival. You could never match. I gave her the most beautiful dove in all of the 10 kingdoms combined, a dove whose feathers and whose song voice was unparalleled." And Sir Shamblerock knew this largesse was undeniably just an amazing gift, and he didn't have a whole lot of of a rebuttal there, but he knew that the daughter was up there, you know, in her quarters, in her dormitory, and she was playing with this bird, and he knew that she probably needed some company up there. He gets bored with just, you know, a bird and a young, beautiful girl. So, with the king's blessing, he advanced up the stairs into the tower where her dormitory lay. He knocked on the door, and she opened it, clearly taken back by his beautiful long mane and muscular chest, the hairs rippling from beneath his chainmail. He was like a Neanderthal, a woolly mammoth, and boy was that hot back then. So he opens the door, and she's clearly taken by him, and he comes in, and he sits down, and she says, who are you? You know, you come into my dormitory, you sit on my bed after my birthday. It was my 18th, you know, what's going on here? And he says, relax, fair lass, I am Sir Shamblerock, and I've come to bed you. And she goes, what? You've come to bed me? But I'm a virgin. I've never been bedded. And Sir Shamblerock says, well, let me show you. It's not that hard. And she's obviously hesitant. So he diverts attention by asking about the beautiful dove. And he says, wow, that's such a beautiful creature. And she says, I know. I haven't come up with a name for it yet, and it's going to be a legendary name when I do. And Sir Shamblerock is obviously still trying to get into her corset, if you will, her gown, but she's trying to keep the attention on the bird. And Sir Shamblerock then, you know, kind of stops talking about the bird and goes to his bread and butter, which is the large flagon of wine under his cloak, and he pulls it out, and she's never seen wine, you know, I mean, she's seen it, but never been allowed to have it, sort of sheltered, and he pours a couple of glasses, and before you know it, she's got 3 glasses of Pinot in her, and he's trying to put some Pinot in her, if you know what I mean. And so he's talking to her, and she's, you know, clearly loving it, and he gets word while talking to her during this time that she's got 7 beautiful sisters as well, none whose beauty rivals hers, but beautiful sisters nonetheless. So he convinces her to get the sisters. So drunkenly, they go down the stairs, find the sisters, bring them back. Okay, good thing it was a big bottle of Pinot, because Sir Shamblerock is just dishing the bubbly everywhere. All right, the sisters are chugging. It's like, you know, 18 o'clock or something there almost, and they're all swigging, and they're all just gone except for Sir Shamblerock. You know, he wants his wits about him. So anyway, Sir Shamblerock beds all of these beautiful women, her 7 sisters and her. 7 and 1 make 8, and all women feel the wrath of Sir Shamblerock's man part, and afterwards, they're all, you know, they sort of pass out. All the while, the princess of the kingdom of the dunes has forgotten to feed her beautiful new dove. Now, the next day they awake. The princess is embarrassed. She's got a hangover the size of the 3rd dune out there, and you know, she gets all her sisters out of the room, and Sir Shamblerock's there, and the dove's cage has a cover over it. The cage, you put a cover over it at night so the dove thinks it's dark, so it goes to sleep. And Sir Shamblerock says, so what about last night? And she says, you know, I don't want to talk about that. You got what you wanted, and I don't want to see you again. You know, please leave my dormitory. So Sir Shamblerock starts to walk away, and she says, but wait. Look at this. Look at the cage. Look at the dove. Did I feed the dove last night? I don't know. I'm not sure if I fed the dove. If I forgot to feed the dove, it is certainly dead inside that cage right now. My beautiful new dove. Or did I feed it? Sir Shamblerock, what do I do? Sir Shamblerock says, well, princess of the kingdom of the dunes, there's only one way to find out if your bird is dead, or if you remember to feed it and it's alive, and that's, you've got to pull back that curtain. And so the princess pulled back the curtain of the cage of the bird. And what happens after that is not important, because as I was telling my friend who had the girl trouble about this story, the moral of the story is he'll never know if the new girl is worth it if he doesn't pull the sheet back, the metaphorical sheet off the cage, and pursue a relationship with her and try to go for it. So I told my friend this. He was ecstatic. He went out with a girl. She ended up dumping him 3 weeks later. He hates his life. He cut himself, and he hasn't shaved or cut his hair in months. He's a shell of his older self. He's probably going to commit suicide, but that's not the point. The point is, you don't know what's going to happen about something until you try it. So just, if you're thinking about trying something,